What is up, everybody? Turbo vs. TV here today. So, Phil Spencer has been on another recent interview where he has stated that he wants games to preserve the past games we had before in the past and make them so that emulation is a thing. That's as the media just that the whole industry just focuses on as a whole. So, Phil Spencer calls for industry-wide support of emulation for older games to preserve the past. He said, "Hey, anybody should be able to buy a game or own any game and continue to play. That seems like a great north star for us as an industry." So he wants to focus on preserving like older games, just so we can play all these older games on one system. He wants to make that a reality, and which I agree with, because a lot of classic games from 360 generation and original Xbox and PS2 generation that if people want to play on their modern systems. They want to have to take out that old hardware or pay some ridiculous price from some type of some collector or something to play these classic games from their childhood. So I kind of wish that is a thing as well. I would love to play a lot of these older games that was on 360 and like I said, PS2 and Xbox One, the original Xbox generation. So yeah, I'm glad he's putting some shine on that topic right there, because it's kind of like the other companies, the other main companies aren't really doing it. Like PlayStation, they're doing it somewhat, but you got to do the whole streaming service with PS Now, and I don't want to do that. I don't want to stream a video game. I'd rather just download the game. Then Nintendo is that their model is kind of horrible. You got to have the Nintendo Switch Online to do theirs, and I don't like Nintendo. I don't like how Nintendo's doing it either. So Microsoft is doing it the best out of the big three. I was like, sure, you have PC. PC is probably the best way if you want to play these older games, so you can actually just download the ROMs and emulators and stuff like that. So. But console-wise, I think Xbox is doing it the best. So let's read some of these comments. Microsoft's charge to make every game on the legacy systems available to buy on modern Xbox is something I wish PlayStation would emulate. It's something that should be done. They just ended the project literally a few days ago with a little less than 24% of the entire game catalog available. Okay, but it's still better than what PlayStation has done. Like what is he talking about? PlayStation needs to get it together and allow PS1 and PS2 backwards compatibles on PS5. There's no reason they can't. No reason they can't, but many reasons they want. I'm very pleased with Xbox, though. Other companies definitely should pay attention. Why do I think that Microsoft should release their original Xbox emulator to the public? I think they should do an Xbox Mini. I can see it working if they recreate the old UI, hopefully add games we want. So, on to show Sony how to make a mini console. Depends how bad the emulation is. Cough, Nintendo, cough. It'd be nice if Sony lets you play Metal Gear Solid 4 above 10 FPS on a modern PlayStation. Classic Phil Spencer W. It's definitely an approach that should be applauded, but I'm curious whether it'd be viable to have a policy of open sourcing games, say 20 years after the original release, to make the Java emulation and preservation a truly open process. I think it's interesting that we don't seem to think of games the same way we do books or movies. I know it's hard to play older titles on newer hardware in a way that is not to read a 400-year-old book, but perhaps we should work on making an easy cloud game with helps here. Yeah. Phil Spencer just farming dubs this week, bro. Thanks. Incredibly based. The fact that you can play Chrono Trigger on Xbox Series X but not on Switch is wild to me. Yeah. I absolutely endorse this. Just set a limit of older than 10 years from current date. If it wasn't for emulators, my entire childhood would be a puff of smoke. Even older cartridges are beginning to show a bit of rot, so we need to move fast. We are going to preserve our games forever. They should just release an emulator on the Series X to allow you to play Xbox original discs. I pay $20 to $30 for that. The Series X already does that for free. Yeah, Series X already does that. It's just like certain games you can just play, just pop the old disc in and it works. Let's see. Just in, Nintendo sues Microsoft for daring to suggest that classic games be made easily available. Games should be treated like any other art form and preserved. Both music, books, and movies can be considered entertainment, yet they don't have as much difficulty with preservation as games. It's time for a proper effort to protect games that will otherwise be lost to time. 2 Phil Spencer's W's in one day. Am I about to become an Xbox fan? Nintendo be like, we don't do that here. Nintendo is crying right now. Nintendo be like, who is he talking to? Okay. Can Phil get any more based? Nintendo is preemptively sending cease and desist after hearing this. Man, the Nintendo slander is crazy right now. They say no way in hell would Nintendo do this type of practice. I wonder. I wish Nintendo was this base. Game Pass is their ultimate base moment. This is their second. I'm a Nintendo fanboy, so I mean this when I saw Xbox is winning right now. Nintendo right now is like, got that face. Cool telling the story by removing DRM. Even though I don't buy Xbox and stuff like that, it gives me a huge respect for Phil. This must have triggered Nintendo. Yeah. People are really not happy with Nintendo right now, how they're treating game preservation. Because it is kind of weird. Like, their game files are so small, and it's like they have access to pretty much all these properties that people want to play, but they just do the most weirdest things on how to just release them to. It's just weird. Their fans just been asking Nintendo to play these classic games on their newer system, like how they did the Wii Store, or whatever it's called, the Wii Store. You get to play all these older classic games. Just do the same thing. It's been the same thing over to the Switch, and people will be happy. Why are they not doing it? Who knows? It's like Nintendo is just the worst at doing the most simplest stuff. It's just insane. So that's why you're seeing so much Nintendo slander in this comment section, because people are kind of pissed at Nintendo for their weird way of preserving old games. Hey, anybody should be able to buy a console and just play it without needing to connect to the internet. Now they got to sidestep to the whole DRM situation. Well, most people, but 99% of the time, you're gonna have internet. If you like 99% of the time I have internet, so I don't understand what the big deal is. I don't get it. They really own about this whole DRM thing. Let's see. Huge F and W. I feel the entire industry should care about game preservation like how we do for film, art, and books. It is great he is pushing others to do the same. Seriously, what the F is going on in tech? Big companies coming out in support of gaming. A major publisher taking another to task for sexual abuse by the latter CEO. Okay. Is this benevolence, or is he just running the games put on Game Pass? Phil Spencer, I may hate your company's guts, but you, on the other hand, are amazing. President, if you convince the industry, Nintendo and Sony to listen to your criticism, that would be amazing. Yeah, some of these comments are just weird. That's why some silent noise right now, because these comments are just weird. Whenever Phil speaks up as big as I wish my dad was as cool as your dad moment for me. What? What's going on, man? We're going to conclude it right here. A lot of these comments are just way too weird. But yeah, we want this guy to continue. Well, we want to continue games being preserved. That's great that happens. Because it's just like, that'd be a cool thing to have, just to play a new console and just have access to all these older games just in one box. So instead of having to go into multiple boxes to play these games. So, gonna conclude it right here. Definitely see your thoughts down below. Leave a like this video. And as always, thanks for watching, and peace.